this evening, what I want to do is help to raise the barely conscious black community, the semi-conscious black community, I can't call it conscious, from a semi or barely conscious state to a little more than barely conscious state. I say that because there's an aspect or a wing, an arm of the so-called black conscious community that believes that we solve our problems by attacking those that are victims of the black Holocaust. They're Holocaust victims. So we're going to attack the black alcoholic, but we're not going to go after the liquor stores that have been dropped as bombs all throughout black communities all over America. We're going to go after the black homosexual, but we're not going to go after the corporations that use chemicals or effeminizing chemicals. That's why I say all the time that this arm of the so-called black conscious community is cowardice, because they're going to go after black people. They're going to target black people because they know, just like I know, that the punishment is less severe for targeting black people than it is for targeting anyone else. So we're going to show you these video clips to help to raise your consciousness from a barely conscious level to at least a little more than barely conscious level. Check it out.
And the emasculation of men. And men today definitely are being chemically altered. They're being chemically manipulated, and they're being chemically feminized. And most of the food that men consume on a consistent basis contains feminizing anti-testosterone chemicals. And from the time that men are conceived in this country, they are exposed to a myriad, close to about 200 different feminizing anti-testosterone chemicals, which really change their brains to that of a female. And none of this is natural. It is not natural for men to lose testosterone at the age of 30. That is a huge myth. But here in America, in this industrialized world that we live in, with all the high fructose corn syrup and the McDonald's and the processed foods, etc., men are just producing no testosterone anymore. And, they are undergoing a chemical attack. And one of the things that men are exposed to on a consistent basis is actually a feminizing fluoride chemical known as PFOA. It has a really long name, so I'm not going to pronounce it. But its abbreviation is PFOA. But it's actually a fluoride chemical, which mimics estrogen and blocks testosterone. Fast food. And the interesting thing about fast food is that men are the biggest consumers of fast food. Partially because of advertising. They use a lot of subliminal dick-sucking ads and other types of images of sexualized women to get men to buy this processed garbage, essentially. And in those wrappers of the fast foods and in the French fry boxes contains those feminizing anti-testosterone chemical known as PFOA. And also, it's found in pizza boxes. So the chemical is found, within the pizza boxes. So if you're eating a lot of Papa John's, Pizza Hut, etc., then in the wrappers of the actual pizza, the chemical is found within there. And again, these are foods that men eat on a daily basis. These are some of the most popular foods that men consume on a consistent basis. And the people who are putting these chemicals out there know what they're doing. They are deliberately targeting men.
Tell me about your feelings with your own father. Tell me.
My feelings with my father is that, growing up, when I was 5, I first met him, my very first time. And
5 years old. 5 years,
5 years old.
No paternal contact at all.
None.
5 years.
5 years old, because he left me when I was born, basically. And it was just like when he left me, I didn't get to know him.
What happened from 5 years old until today? What's going on with that relationship?
From 5, when he came into my life, he was in and out of jail, basically. And then after that, when I started turning 14 to 15, he came into my life. As a young adult, and then that's when things start changing, because he didn't know I was gay at the beginning. He didn't know.
What age were you when he discovered that?
I would gotta say 16.
problem with the fact that your son is gay?
Yeah, I have a problem with he's gay. He's my firstborn son. Hold on, dude.
No, you
Check this out. I should have a problem because you shouldn't be gay. Come on, man.
Just because I'm not gay doesn't make any sense.
This is the whole thing. This is the whole thing. If I can tell you anything, this is the whole thing.
It doesn't make any sense.
You're my son. I love you. I'm gonna love you, period. But I'm not gonna love this.
We always talk about who is and who is not supporting the gay agenda. Who is and who is not pushing the gay agenda. But we very seldom talk about the black parents. The father that is not involved in his son's life is by default supporting the gay agenda. And that's not to say that just because a man is not in the son's life that he's going to be gay. But that is one of the reasons why the feminine nature that is present in male children becomes more exaggerated than the masculine nature that's in male children, because the father is not there. Likewise, the black mother who blocks the relationship between the black father and that black son is also by default supporting and helping to push the so-called gay agenda.